After losing his job and home due to mental illness, Greg has been looking for a home for a long time. He said Simcoe County first offered to pay to rent an apartment but later took it back, citing a lack of funds. He and 13 other people have been living in an encampment at Milligan's Pond in Barrie. They received eviction notices on May 6th and expected to be removed at any time. However, a January 2023 Ontario Superior Court ruling stated that evicting encampment residents violates the Canadian Charter of Rights and Freedom if municipalities lack adequate shelter beds. I visited the encampment over the last 2 weeks and did interviews. Today, Craig provided me an update saying we are here and growing. Following are the interviews I did with encampment residents and volunteers, Craig and Jay, and community leader Christine Nayler of Ryan's Hope over the last 2 weeks.
This is Westside Milligan's Pond, Barrie, Ontario. We're being evicted for settling in this spot within the city, so-called park, a Milligan's Pond Park. I don't know if it's a park or not. We're outside of the park itself. We're on city property, 83 or 86 Perry Street, which is an actual address. And I'm here with the unhoused or unhomed or homeless people, supporting them along with myself being homeless, just to raise awareness to the community. There's sources and help out there, but a lot of them aren't giving the supports we need. I'm supposed to be evicted right now. I was supposed to be gone. So they gave me 24 hours yesterday. As you can see, there's more than myself in this encampment, and there was nobody home to receive the 24-hour notice. Some of them got an hour. Some of them don't even know they have their notice, and they're ready to send in a cleanup crew to throw everything we own, all our belongings, everything we've achieved to get back that we've lost in life. They're ready to throw it all in the garbage. I was living here last spring. I started here, they evicted us. I left peacefully, and I got evicted from another private property, as well as others, and we just accumulated back here again to this spot this past fall, or spring, summer, spring. So we're here again spring. By law, I don't have to move very far, and they just have to do the process over and over again. I don't know, I haven't really thought about it. There's many places, but it's just going to be the same thing. They're going to bounce us all over the city until there's no more moving. And then somebody's going to get aggravated with it, and it's going to get out of hand, and that's when the police come in and they arrest the people, and that's the end of that, right? That's where they push you to your limit. We don't want to go to our limits. We just want some half-decent housing, some answers to why we can't achieve housing and anybody with strings can. We just want a fair chance at everything. I was an outreach worker. I still am, with 2 different groups. I work side by side with all the community outreach programs in Barrie. We were, I won't say that, but we were asked to step in and assist the homeless, find out what's going on and what's the process legally, how this is going to come out and about. My partner with Ryan's Hope was supposed to step in, but he, last April, but he came down ill. So I stepped in his place and took over. And here I am, still at the same thing. We finally got what we wanted, and our legal backing fell to pieces. So hopefully we got more legal backing so we can fight this. I became an alcoholic when I found out my home life fell apart. My spouse and I weren't together anymore, so Simcoe, County of Simcoe, they have a program. It's I can't remember what it's called, but they gave me, said there's $1,550 towards your rent. Find a place, you have 3 months. I did so, and they said the funding fell through. We have no more funding. Go back to looking for a room somewhere. Which leaves me, who wants to, I don't lie to people, who wants to house somebody who's been homeless out in the street, who wants to bring them into their family home, which is only options for like $400 or whatever you get for housing from ODSP or OW, what have you. If you do not have a residential address, you don't get the full amount of funding. You get a street allowance, like a $300 a month. And how are you supposed to save for that when I could eat $300 in a week? Which I haven't. I've lost literally, I used to be a 33, I'm a 28, now 27. Lost a lot of weight. But I work for the people, for the community. I don't care what anybody says. If I think it's right, I'll do it. I recycle these tents and stuff that I find and give them back to the community. And that's what I'm doing now. Tomorrow, I don't know what I'll be doing. But I'm still looking for housing, actively looking for housing, constantly. Do you think I want to be in a tent? No. I'll still come and support and be there for the people, but I still need a house. I'm old. I'm like 56 years old. I don't need this. I don't need this every day, waking up with the back and the ache and this and that. I can't do it anymore. I'm getting old.
Does it make it challenging to hold a job, find a job?
I can't take a job because I ended up with short-term memory loss. And I can't remember the numbers and stuff like that I need to do my job. I had a fabulous job and I retired early because of this condition I had, and I couldn't do it. I'm an active person. I lied my way back into getting another job, a well-paying job, $38 an hour to start. I was the boss and they just wanted me to push a pencil, and I can't do that. I brought my toolbox to work and they let me go because I was helping the trainees, the lowlife, the whatever. I moved out of my desk into a toolbox. They didn't like it, so they let me go. And back on unemployment I am again.
So is there any mental health support that you could find from the city or county or the province?
Yeah, I've used every support, my friend. I know every support there is. I've extinguished them. I'm on a waiting list to be supported. That's basically what it is. You're on a waiting list. And if you're, from what I've found, you fall out of jail and into the community's support program, you get fast-tracked to places like Lucy's, which is Busby's Run. There's a building on Tiffin and Innisfil Street. It's co-op run by Busby and some other organization. It filled up instantaneously soon it was open. There's a lot that sat vacant for years on the corner of, I think it's Sophia and Bayfield Street. They're just starting to work on that now. They're going to level it, and it's going to sit there for another few years. No building's going to go up there. I heard they just cleaned out Ross Street, which was the Busby overflow of housing. They kicked everybody out of there. So, like, people are scrambling for housing, and what's the closest thing? They're outside, they might as well take a tent. Where are you going to put it? It might not be safe. I've got animals coming in my door constantly, chewing through my tent. I got people stealing from me. Like, not homeless. I've got people that are coming from housed areas are stealing. People pull up in vehicles and steal stuff from you. It's not homeless people that are only causing issues in the neighborhood. They blame it. They love to blame that. The easiest way out. They can't fight the battle, right? They don't know you're blaming them on media. I don't watch TV. I don't read the newspapers. I don't listen to the radio. It's all propaganda to me. Sorry, guys, but it is. It's just shameless that they treat people like this, and we can't have housing. They could do what they did up at Rose Street. Open a trailer park. They have tons of land, tons of it. but it's all the resources are downtown. That's why the homeless is downtown. That's where I've been.
Any support, any help you expect from city, county?
No, I have to wait and fill out another application for housing, but they
What
still
about
have
the
no
encampment?
funding.
What do you expect city to do, because they already gave the notice? So what you
Oh, they're gonna follow through with their protocol. They'll evict us, and they'll bring in their cleanup crew and throw everything we own, all our life belongings, everything we've worked for the past, whoever they've been homeless, into the garbage. We resist, they'll arrest us. You'll be released in 4 hours. In 4 hours, the encampment will be gone, and what do you do? Back to square one. You start all over again. Some people, they don't have the resources or the knowledge to go to, like Christine from Ryan's Hope, Laura from CMHA, Gilbert Center, John Howard Center. They have no idea that they even exist. So what do? The next thing to it, they have no money. What are you going to do? You're going to steal what you need. You're hungry, you're going to steal it. You're going to take it. You're going to get it somewhere. Somewhere, somehow. You're going to get it. Hence, I recycle all these tents. People, I don't know, there's people that come to me all the time. Have you got a tent? Have you got a sleeping bag? Have you got this? You got that? I hand it out left, right, and center as long as I have it. If I don't have it, I make a call out to all these places, and they usually bring it. Like the Barrie Friendship Center, Native Friendship Center. Arlene, one of the best supporters I've ever had in my life. I call her, she's on spot, guaranteed, 7 days a week. I need something, emergency, boom, she's there.
are you an indigenous person, or
No,
mm,
no,
to help out?
she's just a colleague that I work with. But like told you, I work with all the groups. I have connections to all the groups, and she's one of the ladies that I lean on the most. And she has more knowledge than a lot of the office people at these other places. She's a driving outreach person, so she knows. She works from Timmins or even further to Niagara. She knows everything about everything. She knows where all the encampments are. If she does, and I do. So we work together, we go in and source things out, right?
We're here for an encampment eviction. Friends of ours got the notice yesterday. They were supposed to be here by now to enforce it. They're not. Been volunteering with Ryan's Hope for the last 3.5, 4 years, helping everybody out, helping our friends, the homeless, unsheltered, as much as possible. I've been part of the homeless. I am part of the homeless now. Some of our friends can't look out for themselves, so they need somebody to help them. And that's essentially what I've been doing for the last 4 years with Ryan's Hope. It's not that they can't take care of themselves, they do, but they need help in other areas that they can't, as in mental health. I suffer and deal with mental health and addictions myself, so I know exactly what they're going through. We all need help at some point. Most times, and maybe just an ear to listen to. There's no help in this. There's no support in this county for the mental health and the addictions. We all get judged by it. It's disgusting how much we get judged. I was on both sides of this rule. When I was employed, for a courier company delivering down here, I'd seen everybody that I know now that is homeless. I never judged even back then, but I was kind of curious. And then I caused a mistake on myself, and I became part of the family, part of that street family. I've related to a lot of them about why they are homeless and the addictions and the mental health. So I've built a connection with a lot of them. The protesting is never going to end. We're going to keep going, and mayor after mayor, if they're going to keep continuing this way, just leave the encampments alone. Leave us alone. We're not causing no harm. We created a little home, a little community. I mean, minus some of the debris and stuff, but hey, that's everywhere. Even people that own their homes have debris. So what's the difference? Just leave us all alone, essentially. If not, then if you're going to keep fighting, we'll keep fighting. Trying to learn it, I guess, to advocate. I'm normally shy. Speaking in public and speaking to social media, it's my mental health that tries to stop it. I overpower it when I need to. The advocacy, that's a hard one for me. Try my best. Ryan's Hope is trying their hardest to get me to overcome that fear of advocating for anyone that needs it.
So we're here today standing in solidarity with our friends that reside in this encampment. There's currently 13 residents that live here, and they receive an eviction notice by city bylaw yesterday, giving them 24 hours to vacate this property. So I received a message from one of the residents saying that they needed help and support, if we could come and support them because they don't want to leave. This is their home and they have nowhere to go. So that's why we're here today, to stand in solidarity with our friends and to challenge this eviction, because the City of Barrie knows, and the mayor knows, and the City Council knows that encampment evictions are now illegal. It was ruled in Ontario Superior Court in January of 2023 that it's a violation of the Charter of Rights and Freedoms under Section 7. If a municipality does not have enough shelter beds, encampment residents have a right to shelter themselves in encampments. And the judge went even further to say that it's not even just the number of beds available. The beds available have to be suitable for the people in need of those beds. So if there is no beds in a community for, say, couples, or there's no beds that are low barrier enough for people that have mental health and addiction issues and they can't follow and comply with the rules in the shelter, then those beds are not suitable for those people and they therefore have a right to shelter themselves. Charter of Rights and Freedoms is the highest law of our country, and so it trumps bylaw. And so we're just here to remind the city of that and to stand in solidarity with our friends and to get some media attention on this, because we can't just keep on pushing people from park to park to park saying move on, move on. That doesn't solve the problem. They have no homes. They have nowhere to go. They built a community here. Encampments are community. Encampments give the residents a sense of safety. They give them community. They give them support. They give them an opportunity to pool and share resources. It's easier for workers like ourselves that to outreach, because we know where they are. We know where to find them. We're able to connect with several people at the same time. So just like we like to live in community, our friends like to live in community, and just shooing people away from the community that they built, it's inhumane and it's illegal, and so we're going to stand up to that.
And how long this encampment been here?
Most of the residents that are currently living here right now have been here since at least last September.
What kind of support they have, ask from you?
Our friends have asked if there's any community members that are wondering how they can help, how can they be involved. You can come, bring your camp chair, just spend a few hours here standing in solidarity with our friends. You can write to council, tell them this is not okay. We're in need of water, like food, sandwiches, snacks, juice boxes, that sort of stuff for our friends that are living here in the encampment. Water is huge. It's getting hotter the days. They're in need of some new tents for a few people, and some tarps, that sort of stuff. So anything like that you're able to help, you can reach out to Ryan's Hope and we can connect it, or you can just come down and show up and say hi. Yes, so they received the notices yesterday between 11:15 and 11:30ish. So after that 24 hours, which is already passed now, at any time the city could come in to enforce those eviction notices under the bylaw. But the bylaw is illegal because it violates the Charter of Rights and Freedoms. So they know that it's illegal, and I think that they're probably trying to just count on people to move voluntarily. But some of our friends are saying they are not going to move voluntarily. They are willing to stay and challenge this in court because this is their home and they don't want to leave their home again. They've had to move too many times.
Some of the residents, they call the bylaw officer, the phone number which is on the eviction notice. But I believe there is no appeal process, as they have told me.
So this is what happened. One of our friends, there is a notice, a number on the bottom of the eviction notice that says if you want more information or you want to talk about this notice, please call this number. And when one of the residents called to say, how do I appeal this? I want to appeal this because I have nowhere to go. Where am I supposed to go? This is my home. They said there is no appeal process. They have no way to appeal this.
And so basically, if city decides, even though as you mentioned, the court has ruled that's illegal to evict, but if city decides to move in and evict them, and with the help of police, there's little to nothing they can do, right?
There's little to nothing they can do in the present moment, right at that time, but that would open the city up to a huge legal challenge. The city knows it's illegal. I'm sure the police know it's illegal, and for them to illegally evict people is against the Charter of Rights and Freedoms. So Barrie bylaw doesn't get to just quash people's human rights. It's not okay, and they know it's illegal. So we're hoping it doesn't come to that.
And you mentioned in one of the meetings, town hall or some other kind of meeting that has not been recorded by the city, that this issue of encampment eviction came out, and there was some acknowledgement, some statement from the mayor and the police chief.
This is what I heard third hand. I heard third hand that both the police chief and the mayor said they know that it's illegal for them to evict people from public properties. So they do know about the ruling, the court ruling.
And then why, the last question is why Ryan's Hope is supporting this, and so what is the advocacy for this cause? What is the reason for that?
Well, our Ryan's Hope is an organization my husband and I started in memory in honor of our son Ryan. He lived with mental illness and self-medicated with street drugs because the pharmaceutical medications did not work for him. He lost his life due to a toxic drug poisoning. Ryan was a member of this community. He had a lot of friends that were homeless and struggling with these issues, and so our mission of Ryan's Hope is to advocate for and support people living with mental illness, substance use issues, and experiencing homelessness. So advocacy is part of what we do. Direct support to people living in survival mode is the other part of what we do. So we do street outreach, we do encampment support. So we have built a relationship with the residents of this community. We've been supporting them for 3.5 years now. And so when they got these eviction notices, they reached out to us because they felt like we were someone that they could trust and that they could count on to stand in solidarity with them.
And just, I also noticed that there has been cleaning, all mornings, at least since I have arrived. All the residents here have been, cleaning the encampment, because there were also issues raised during one community safety meeting about the cleanliness in the encampment.
And I would challenge the city on that, because the city refuses to provide garbage pickup at encampments. We have requested that. Several other community organizations have requested for encampment residents to have the same types of services that we have, and one of them is garbage pickup. You and I have the luxury of putting our garbage in a bin and then putting our bin out on garbage day, and somebody magically comes and takes our garbage away. Unfortunately, encampment residents do not have that luxury. The city has denied them garbage pickup. We go to the encampments, we support the encampments all the time. Residents do their best to keep the area clean. They keep their garbage in bags, and they'll put it out at the side of the road hoping the city will pick it up. And what we see is it's been ripped open by animals because the city refuses to pick up garbage from encampments. So that's not on the fault of the encampment residents who are doing their best to just survive. That's on the fault of the city because they're treating encampment residents like less than the rest of us who get garbage pickup.
Any comment about, when people say, they don't pay taxes, that's why they don't get the services?
Well, they do pay taxes. They're members of our community. They go to restaurants, they go to stores, they shop, they do all that stuff. And, we all are in different, financial brackets in our community, but we're still all entitled to the same community supports, the same services from our city. Are we going to be a type of city that says only if you're in this tax bracket you get these supports, and if you're in this middle tax bracket these are the supports we'll give you, and if you're in the low income tax brackets you only get these supports? We don't live in that type of society. So I think that's just a poor excuse.
Any message you have for Barrie residents as well as for the city council about how to deal with this issue, specifically this encampment right now?
I think that this needs to stop. They need to stop illegally trying to remove people from their homes. Encampments, like I said, their community, their safety, and when we have no other options, when there is no housing available, obviously we want everyone to be housed. We want everyone to have safe, affordable housing, but that takes time and we're not there yet. So in the meantime, people are taking care of themselves. They're making shelters, they're making communities for themselves. And we just do further harm when we try to break up those encampments and those communities of support that people have built for themselves. So I say to the city, stop it. It's illegal and you're wasting city resources and you're wasting city money, and you could be subjecting to the city to a legal battle. So that's just wasteful and not wise. I say to residents of Barrie that want to help and want to support, please speak to your councillor, write them, email, call them, as well as the mayor. Let them know that you're not okay with them doing this to people. These are people that are already struggling, just to survive, and they don't need this type of trauma and harassment and stuff like that. If you want to come and support us, please reach out. Neighbors standing with neighbors, that's how we build community. City can provide services to the encampments. So instead of trying to just keep wasting their time dismantling them and having cleanup crews that they pay lots of money, contractors to come in and clean up encampments after they've dismantled them, if they provide the residents, we were talking and several different organizations were talking about a peer support paid program where the city could employ actual unhoused people to actually clean the encampments and keep them clean and stuff like that. If we provide them with garbage supplies and garbage bins and stuff like that, and had a schedule on when the garbage could come to them, then that would be a way that the city could support them. Other communities have provided washrooms and sanitation. Actually, I think it was in London, Ontario, I may be wrong, but I'm pretty sure it's London, where the health department actually ordered for them to have potable water and washroom facilities due to health reasons. These are human beings, these are human needs. We need to be able to have access to a bathroom. We need to be able to have access to water, those type of services. So that's the way that the city could be supporting encampment residents.